trying to do, or what we've been trying to do in Proud Made in Africa, our core activity has been to participate in the eradication of poverty globally, but mostly focusing on Africa with trade. So basically, we are NGO like any other NGO, but we chose to do development differently in the sense that we chose to do to facilitate trade, to facilitate African people in Africa, in the same model that could be with other countries that are, financially poor, maybe Latin America or in Asia. We decided to facilitate with allowing them to trade internationally, to trade in manufactured products. Because one of the main problems with poverty globally is that many countries that are poor in Africa, Latin America, Asia, is that they are put in a system where they trade in raw material. And from those raw material, they don't really benefit from international transaction of the business that we have in the global economy. So we help them to manufacture, we facilitate the manufacturing in Africa, and then we help these producers in Africa to find a market of manufactured products in European and other markets. Because when they trade in manufactured products, they gain more from the international trade. Now we have, that we all know, we have the fair trade. The fair trade helps the producers in Africa to still produce to trade in raw material, in agricultural products, but those products are bought at a little bit fair price. But when people are allowed to manufacture their own products, add value, and they sell those products, they gain more from the international market than the case may be. So we do that in terms of physically helping these production processes and the sales of goods. And then the other bit that we have in Proud Made in Africa is a development education. So the development education now, we teach, and we are focusing on business schools, because these are the future business leaders. These are the people that will be buying from different countries. So we train them how they can trade fairly with other countries. So we have been doing these programs in business school. We are at the moment in 15 business schools in Ireland, in the island of Ireland, so almost covering nearly all the higher learning institutions in Ireland, but focusing on the business departments and the business schools. So, we have been doing that, and we Proud Made in Africa, we are 12 years. Our development education is nearly now 7 years. So all these things we've been doing, prior to COVID 2020, prior to Black Lives Matter, there was an element that we were not consciously including in our education training. And I think many organizations might have the same. We have opportunity to talk about trade, international trade, global development, but we have always been missing that opportunity to talk about the big words, the other word, for example, racism, colonialism, and the decolonialism. So when COVID-19 happened, and when Black Lives Matter came, it struck us very, very, very consciously in Proud Made in Africa that we have to include these perspectives straight away, consciously, to include the decolonial perspective and the racism in our discussion. Fortunately, we had already developed a resource which was written in 2019 with a cooperation between Barbara O'Toole from Marino Education Institute, Proud Made in Africa, and Boone and other lecturers and the teachers. We worked together. We produced this resource. But even this resource would have gone, it would have gone to the back of the shelf But now that this Black Lives Matter came, we said, we have this resource and we have to promote it in our education programs, etc. So now I think is a conscious effort that whenever we have opportunity to talk about trade, to talk about international trade, to talk about development, we will infuse the element of racism and decolonial and colonization, because they are part and parcel of this matter. So actually, in terms of our showcase, this is what we wanted to say. This is what we wanted to share with the other members. And I think maybe the issue that we've been facing, of course, might be resonating with others as well.